We are all trying to escape something, but for the life of us we just do not know what it is. We can describe it, we can say that we feel trapped, that we feel like we are not being who we should be, or that we are not being all that we would like to be. Some of us may point to the angst that we feel when we look at the world, a world that we would like to see change, to become better, in accordance with some inner sense of what that best place should be like. Whether we look to ourselves or to the crowd at large, such are the reflections of something truly deep within us, and this is our first clue, telling us that what we are supposed to be, what our world is supposed to be, the answer, our key, will never be found out there. To many of us, it feels like an escape. Our energy is so low, we are so disarrayed in our thinking, in our feeling, and what we feel from the world at large, that at this point it seems like the only true way, is the way of escape, like a prison, we must escape. But let me tell you that that escape will never be found, out there. We may find some solace in distant lands, in faraway places, and in that way we may even be distracted by the adventure of it all, by the challenge of these new and distant places, where solace might be found for a while. But in time that angst will return, given time all new places, even distant places, will begin to weigh us down from the inside out. There is something in us, something that we cannot escape, that seems to be pushing us down to the earth, that is making us heavy in a hard-to-define way. But how do we escape that trap? Well, let me tell you, the way out is in. Let me repeat that, the way out, is in. There is no escape out there, because that which is trapping us is not out there, at least it is not out there in the way that you think out there is. Instead, the key to our escape is to be found, will be found, can only be found, inside ourselves. Our escape is to be found in another dimension, inner dimensions. And the way to get there is not by going far and long, it is instead by going in and deep, so deep that in time from this inner travel, we may find a new out there. An out there that can only be accessed by going in here, into the self, and traveling in a way that does not involve moving, at least moving in any measurable way in accordance with the rules that we have created to define our out there. The way out is in, there is no other way but the going in. But how do you do this? How do you go in? You do this by falling into yourself, by letting go of all those measured laws and rules created out there. At first it is a beginning in faith, but in time we begin to see, thanks to our longer and longer journeys within, that all of that weight and measure, all of those rules and hindrances to be found out there, are quite simply an illusion. What we seek, what we all seek, what we feel as the tonic, the cure, to the angst deep within ourselves, is freedom. We seek a way to escape all those boundaries that we have imposed upon ourselves, that seem to have been imposed upon us, by that world we perceive to be, out there. And the only way that we can escape that tyranny, the only way that we can find the true freedom that we seek, so as to begin to create a personal self beyond past limits, is to go to a place where such a tyranny does not exist. And that escape is within, not without. The way out is in. The way out is in.